What's good, fellas? My name's Iconic and I'm a multimedia guru and in secret, a whiskey enthusiast. Ain't that right, Louis? That's what I figured. So in this wonderful journey I will talk about whiskies as I broaden my palate. So vibe with me, follow me on socials, buy Iconic, and let's do this. Now I am glad that you're watching because we will spend a lot of time together, careful assumption, to find out whether the whiskies that I'm gonna try are tasty or not at all, or surprising, or meh, and all of that in between. You know, and for today we're gonna look at the Glenlivet Captain's Reserve, and it's a pretty special whiskey in the first place. Why is that, you think? Well, I'll talk about it. So first of all, the Glenlivet was illegal when it was first brought out, or at least first found, and after which they became legal in 1824 when they got their license, right? So at that very moment they became the only whiskey that could actually keep "the" in front of its name, therefore the Glenlivet and not just Glenlivet. When the captain fought in France during World War I, he inherited the distillery, so when he went back to Scotland, he wanted to do something special with the Glenlivet, and that's where this comes from, right? So first of all, I love the purple box. I think it looks magnificent, it looks very rich, and also surprising, promising perhaps. Let's see how the bottle looks. I would say just as enchanting. Yeah, so the Glenlivet, first of all, it's a single malt Scotch whiskey from the Speyside region, and it's it looks just fabulous. It's a 40% ABV whiskey, and I expect it to be a bit sweet, but we're gonna find out together. First of all, let's check out the box, which says, "Here is something different, a whiskey inspired by Captain William Smith Grant, great-grandson of the founder, George Smith. The captain, as everybody loved to call him, was fighting in France during World War I when he inherited the Glenlivet distillery. A good reason why a portion of Captain's Reserve is finished in cognac casks." If that doesn't even sound promising, I don't even know what will. So it says, "The seductive aromas of apricot jam and sweet spice will tempt you to taste Captain's Reserve. A portion of the whiskey is finished in cognac casks, uniting the raisin-rich honey flavor to the distinctive Speyside character of the Glenlivet." And then they provide some sort of a visual. It illustrates the nose, the palate, and also the finish. And underneath it says, "The nose, sweet and fruity aromas of honey and apricot jam, with notes of cinnamon bread and a subtle sensation of spicy licorice." Man, you had me at cinnamon bread. This must be one hell of a whiskey, right? Then the palate says, "Succulent flavors of mandarins and syrup, ripe poached pears, and chocolate-dipped raisins." Succulent flavors of mandarins and syrup? Okay, well, we'll see where it goes. And then the finish is incredibly smooth and luscious. So, well, I must say, this whiskey was recommended to me by a friend of mine. I see you, Sven, you know who you are. And this is my very first The Glenlivet that I'm gonna try, of all the whiskeys that I've had before. So super excited about it. We're gonna find it out together, and yeah, stay tuned. Alright, we're gonna try it. We're gonna see how it's gonna be. I need to find a way to crack open this bottle first. You just need to find that start point and then you'll probably be good. Or not, you're just gonna be like me. That's alright though. It's a journey, right? I'm actually just like scraping it off. There you go. Oh. So it's quite small, as you can see. The cork is nice and wet. Wow, that is such an aroma. That's amazing. Already from the cork, I always smell the cork first to see whether whether it comes through amazingly strong or not. But it's a good sign, so let's check it out. Alright then, so talking about the color, it's nicely colored. It is, let's see how we could describe this. It's, I would say it's a bit yellowish, like more of a a brownish gold tint perhaps, if that makes sense. Alright, so let's see what this is gonna smell like. Wow, that is, it smells very promising. Very deep and intense. Very sweet as well. I can get that apricot out of there. It is there. Almost apple-like, I would say. Almost, not nearly, but yeah. It kind of has, it has some sort of a hint of apples in there. I don't know, but it's definitely apricot jam. So you may want to grab a sandwich after drinking one. According to the packaging, it should be apricot jam, honey, cinnamon bread, and a subtle sensation of spice licorice. I'm not getting that licorice out of there yet, but perhaps it'll come later. I do see the cinnamon bread because the cinnamon bread usually is very sweet, you know, and very soft as well, and it kind of smells like an easygoing whiskey, even though it has a 40% ABV, of course, but man, just smelling it, you really want to try it. So, alright, let's get into it. Cheers! Amazing. It's amazing, it's amazing. I love it. It is sweet, it is deep, it is intense, it is flourishing. I'm gonna have to have another sip. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna get that cognac out of there. Yeah, you know, when you try cognac, it's like it's a bit floral, if that makes sense. I always feel like it's some sort of a floral kind of drink, in a sweet way. I would say this is sweeter than the usual cognac. It is. I mean, you kind of, for example, if you've ever had Hennessy, it kind of touches upon it, but it doesn't grab it, if that makes sense. It really awakens all of your senses, and it makes you want to drink more, which is an interesting thing, of course, because then that bottle will be finished in no time, right? But I'm just not getting that licorice out of there. Not yet, at least. Perhaps in the second glass. The apricot jam is definitely there. It becomes kind of floral in the actual palate. It is, however, very sweet, which is interesting. Far away you can sense some sort of a hint of apples. And it has a sort of spice, but it may be due to the fact that it's been aging in cognac casks, of course. And it explores the taste of a pure chocolate bar. Some sort of a faraway hint as well. I mean, I've had whiskies that are way more chocolate-like, right? So we're probably gonna connect the dots to each other later on in another episode, that is, but yeah, some sort of a chocolate hint. It really feels like it's been aging for a very sufficient amount of time, and I'm not sure because it doesn't really have an age statement, which is quite a pity, but it also that also proves that you don't really need an age statement to be exciting, to be daring, to be challenging. You know, it's a fun drink, it's a fun whiskey, really. It's really interesting because the aroma, you know, the nose is just different from the actual palate, and also from the finish. It's just, I love it when a whiskey makes you go on a journey, you know, not only just trying out whiskeys and buying them and, you know, sipping and all, but really whenever you start drinking it, then it kind of goes up and it goes, it bends and then it goes down, perhaps it goes up again, you know. I love it when a drink is such a roller coaster of flavors, really. So I'm gonna try a second glass because this needs further investigation, if you catch my drift. Very interesting, very interesting. Now I really wonder how the rest of the Glenlivets taste like. But I do have the feeling that whenever you drink more, when you take another sip, and very highly likely another glass, then it opens up more. So that's why I take a second glass as well. Sometimes you have whiskies that are very straightforward whenever you start to drink them at first, but sometimes you have whiskies that become better. Well, most whiskies become better after the second and third glass, but you know, it's sometimes they need a bit more time. That's the main thing. Yeah, less of a floral hint, perhaps more of a deepened chocolate vibe that I'm getting now. That's what I'm saying, it really opens up after that. Alright, and what I'm gonna do now is, to make it complete, I have this app called Distiller. And Distiller is used to basically rank or grade or talk about, share the spirits that you drink. If you're familiar with On Tap, with the beers and all, well, it's that, but then for spirits and other drinks, you know, stuff like that. You can give up to 5 stars, right, and everything in between. And let's see what we'll give this one. Man, it's such a good whiskey. I'm doubting to give it a 3.75 or 4, but since it's so surprising, I'll go with 4, right? The cost. I'm pretty sure it is normally 45 euros a bottle. I must have paid a bit less. I think I paid like 36. Okay, well, hold on. I believe I paid 36 for this bottle. I had a little bit of discount, so it was in Os in the Gal and Gal. And I'm pretty sure that it's, yeah, let's stick with this. Your tasting note, very sweet and welcoming. Deep, intense and flourishing palate. A small hint of apples. An honest confirmation of apricot. Jam. With an interesting spice. Shares the soft spot of a delicious cinnamon bread. Mildly strong but smooth finish that leaves thirsty for more. So when you're done, you can just press done, right? And of course put in what are you tasting. So that's the Glenlivet Captain's Reserve. There you go. And then you can just post it. And there you go, you have your very first post of the new whiskey that you're trying. And it's you know, it's just fun because you can share it along and you know, let all your peeps know. So please make sure that you follow me on my socials by Iconic to stay up with all the news and the updates in regard to whiskey tasting, because there will be a lot more in the future. And to be honest, you know, it's way more fun when you do it together, right? So yeah, that's that, and I appreciate you watching this, of course. So drop a like, a share, a comment, whatever you like. I appreciate it all. And until then, stay tuned and have a good night. Peace.